Welcome back, everybody, to another fundamental movement lesson. Today, we're going to be getting into how to transition from the kettlebell swing to the kettlebell goblet squat. Now, the key features of this video that I want you guys to pay attention to is how to properly pass the kettlebell from a double grip position, just like this, to catching it with the bell. Now, I just want you to practice this if you've never done it before. Just taking the kettlebell up and catching it in this position, passing it from the bell to the handle with both hands, being able to catch it and pass it. This is going to be essential for learning how to do the kettlebell swing to our squat. So playing with this is the first step. Next, we're going to talk about how to properly do the kettlebell squat. We don't really need to get into how to do the swing because you guys already know how to do the kettlebell swing by now. We're simply going to learn how to properly do the kettlebell squat or the goblet squat when we hold the kettlebell out in front of us. Now, there's just a couple things we want to pay attention to because it's not like a traditional back squat where we have weight on our backs. The kettlebell is going to be out in front of us, so the natural tendency for our system is to start to lean forward with that weight. Because of that, we want to really make sure we have proper extension in our posterior chain, and we want to make sure our posterior chain is engaged so it mitigates that leaning forward flexion that naturally wants to happen. This is very powerful. Just a little side note, it's very powerful for correcting a lot of those forward postures we tend to find ourselves in today's world. By holding the weight out in front of us, it strengthens our back muscles, our whole posterior chain, to help keep us essentially upright rather than falling forward. So we're going to get into that kettlebell swing. We're going to pass the weight, catching the bell. We're going to squat down. We're going to come up from the squat. We're going to pass the kettlebell back and grab the handles. And we're just going to do a couple of these just to get the repetitions in. So getting into our starting position, creating the wide base, creating stability in our feet, going from the pinky toe hitting the ground first, the big toe hitting the ground last, standing on that tripod here, hinging at the hips, creating a stretch in our legs, making sure we're elongated, the spine is in a neutral position, engaging the lats, rotating those elbows in, picking up that kettlebell, starting with the swing, swinging the kettlebell a couple times here, getting into that swing. We're going to then catch the kettlebell at the top, continue the momentum and land right into our squat. Just like so. Maintaining the extension, not falling forward, kind of staying balanced on our feet, even dropping the weight in the heels a little bit, and then coming up from that squat. Throwing the kettlebell to catch the handle and letting that momentum come down for the swing. Let's do a couple of those. So swing, catch, squat, come up, throw it out, catch, and it's all momentum. All right, that is how we successfully perform the kettlebell swing to squat, paying attention and playing with the coordination you have to pass that kettlebell from the handle position back to the bell as we get into our squat, coming up and then passing it from the bell back to the handle position to get into our swing. Play with this, guys. Have fun with this as always, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.